Romanenko, as you've already heard. By the way, today is the first time that I heard that I representative of the first graduation year of East. I'm not just a builder by education, but for the last 18 years, I've been practically working in this field, and for 11 years I've been an entrepreneur. I am a co-founder of EcopanUA company, which is one of the leaders of energy sufficient construction. As of 2015, we
наші проекти в Західну Європу і під час
projects to Western Europe, and during the war we even launched a second production facility as a company born in Ukraine. That's the way we position ourselves. For the last 4 years, I am a consultant for energy saving and sustainable development goals. I am a preacher of energy saving, and I was one even before it became the mainstream, not just because our engineering power grids are being shelled, but and not because of the UN adopted sustainability goals, and most companies have been working on these goals since 2016, but we were one of the first trailblazers to have implemented.
Готуючись до сьогоднішньої зустрічі, чесно хвилювалася, і перша в мене думка була після діалогу з Надією, така думаю, ну я ж більш будівельник, ну тобто це до геодезії вже якби мало якось і прив'язане, можливо це не зовсім профільно, але дякую за запрошення, бо насправді я зрозуміла, це дуже профільно, тому що 50% фактично, якщо не більше, впливу саме на енергоефективність будівлі, це саме її геолокація і правильне використання геоінформаційних даних, де знаходиться наша будівля. І я би дуже хотіла вам розказати про кожен з цих проєктів. Вони тут не просто так, це проєкти реалізовані в команді з моїми партнерами з Казахстану, з Австрії, але я таку зробила шкалу, знаєте, еволюція енергоефективності, і, на жаль, от будівлі зі звичайним енергоспоживанням.
Buildings with the regular consumption, which consume about 200 kilowatts per square meter or higher. This is what we inherited from the Soviet Union. And raising of the energy efficiency class is something to which we move. Company Copan and our engineering team work on the class of energy efficiency, passive building. I'm sure you understand what it means. The energy efficiency is identified by the amount of kilowatts consumed by the building per square meter. Why it is important to create energy efficient buildings? Because the shell of the energy efficient building will use this energy inside effectively, because everyone present here produces 100 watts of heat. So children are even hotter, and people who are going in for sports or dancing, they produce even more heat. So when engineering networks and buildings work together with the comfort and heat produced by people, it makes us able to use energy more effectively. The last project of ours, the building with zero energy consumption. This is not just a trend, it's not our future, it's what we need today, and which is absolutely possible. How do we reach this? First of all, by means of correct analysis of location of the building and coordination of all the functions and networks present in the building. like coordination is done by a special dispatch software. Actually, this software which we use is unique and created in Ukraine. It allows, irrespective of the function of the building, whether it's industrial building or residential or a small cottage, or to analyze and upgrade. It's like your Android telephone is upgrading every 2 months. So the same way, your building will be upgraded depending on how the energy is used. So it will not only use the sensors like CO2, it will also analyze your habits and offer upgrades to reduce the energy consumption from networks even more on the basis of this and reaching the zero consumption in the end of the day. So the geolocation of the building affects in the first place the territory, access to water, wind, sun, solar energy, all this important. The second stage is a scenario of use. If it's a university, for example, where there is no a room which is used once every 2 or 3 months, so this room may be supplied with energy from other premises which are used more often because they can create a reserve of energy. And the third step is the passive house shell. Is reached by wind technology. So when we create it and stimulate it according to the geographic conditions. On the next stage, we design engineering networks following the shell and the function specific for this particular building. And then the final stage, the last stage, the rest of the energy which we need to get from the network, we calculate whether it would make sense to use alternative sources of energy. We know that irrespective of how smart our engineers, the investors would pay, and every know-how should be well grounded, and the investment should be returned. So that's why alternative sources of energy are not always necessary, because sometimes people, when they speak about solar panels, when there is a smart shell, make no sense. I'm not going to explain every graph, but this is the presentation of how our software functions. Together with our partners, we developed with Advances Group. They set up engineering provision for our designs. The principle of this software is like this: we analyze every day in the year according to the movement of the solar movement, how the building is heated or cooled during the course of the year, when we can get free energy, for instance. If the windows are closed from the sun, it would make much cheaper than cooling the premises with a conditioner. Then we analyze the shell thanks to with using the simulators. We analyze the shell of the building, verifying the thermal insulation as well as
відсотків енергії втрачається саме через інфільтрацію.
from the air. So if the building is completely insulated, if insulated badly, then there's 40% of money will be wasted on energy. Then the program allows to calculate all scenarios of cooling, warming, and offer the optimized set of engineering solutions. Some words, one of the cases implemented the year before the last in Vienna, we partly participated in it because we were designing ventilation near the downtown. There was a big high-rise building was constructed, and 6 9-story buildings. So they were designed following the principle of zero energy, but in the process of use, they showed 140% generation of energy. And this energy could be sold or could be used for heating neighboring houses, and the municipality requested the developers, the engineers who set up this, asking them for permission to connect to this set of buildings, the administrative buildings of Vienna situated nearby, for them to heat those administrative buildings. So they will, by the end of 23, they will be heated by energy from this set of center. And we also developed a number of scenarios for Ecopa company in order to reduce to maximum extent the load on the networks. They plan to open the representation in Ukraine. I think, and in conclusion, to sum up, I want to say why it's important to take out natural resources. First of all, because we get them free of charge, and the second, we have to preserve them, and political on the way to European integration. You understand that our tariffs will not remain at the level at which they are. So even now, they are 10 times lower than in average in Europe. So we're prepared to energy efficiency. So because any innovations, first of all, are intended for minimization of costs and for economy and efficiency. So our projects are aimed at innovations in terms of making investment profitable. So Ukraine has lots of chances to become much better and stronger. That's why at all conferences on rebuilding Ukraine, we hear build back better, better than it was before, and we can do it better only using the modern technologies and preserving the natural resources to maximum extent. Thank you, Olga.